George Ferocious Kambosos misses weight. Wow. Right before Undisputed with Devin Haney made weight his first attempt. That's what I'll talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you come in, smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Wow. So, after all that talk, George Kambosos misses weight on his first attempt ahead of his fight with Devin Haney. Now, this doesn't look too good from my perspective. You guys should see a picture of George Kambosos. He doesn't look like he's in the craziest of shape, and that's just being honest. To me, it looks like Kambosos was in greater shape for his bout with Teofimo Lopez. And, you know, this is going to be an interesting fight because he says he enjoys, even though he's fighting at home, he said he enjoys the role of the underdog. And I don't really believe that. I don't think anyone would prefer to be at home and be the underdog. Like, I get it versus Teofimo Lopez. You being the underdog, that kind of comes with the territory. So you were fighting Teofimo in New York. He was the bigger name. He had to come off the Lomachenko performance. So I can understand Teofimo being the favorite, and you can embrace the role as underdog in that particular bout. However, for you to be an underdog in your own country, and we know how important it is to represent your country in the right way, because in the build-up, according to George Kambosos, because George Kambosos was fed information that he used, and that was regarding Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos calls Devin Haney a rat and says he's an informant for snitching out his countrymen. And how could he do that? So we know how much of a compatriot George Kambosos is saying that he is. So there's no way you can tell me he wants to be the underdog in his own country. Now, for George Kambosos to miss weight and fail and have 2 hours to make weight, that's pretty disappointing. You're the hometown fighter, as I mentioned. Even though you are the underdog in this equation, you're still the hometown guy. And there's people, other Australians and New Zealanders and Kiwis and stuff on the card, and it's supposed to be the biggest fight. You got to be a consummate professional, especially when you're, so patriotic and you're fighting at home. And what message does that send that the American fighter was a true professional? And you'll see in the thumbnail, Devin Haney is completely sliced up. He cut up like a bag of dope, right? And he made weight first time, and he made it look easy. So him and Victor Conte, Snack Jim, Devin's team, Devin's preparation, his sparring, all of that looks like it paid massive dividends. The same can't be said for George Kambosos. Like, just looking at his body type, it looks like he has love handles, And again, you're the hometown guy. You sound prideful from the interviews and like, oh, it's such an honor, and I'm fighting at home. And, he was very adamant about the fight, the rematch needing to take place on Australian soil. But what's the difference if it happened in Australia or in Las Vegas or wherever else? Because at the end of the day, you didn't make weight, So if your own country can't motivate you enough to be professional and make the weight that you said, then it doesn't really matter where the fight were to have taken place. Either way, you didn't make weight. So it's pretty surprising. I think George Kambosos, he just looked soft. He looked a little bit tubby to me, and it's making me wonder. I was already picking Devin Haney, but this makes me even more comfortable in my pick. I was already picking Devin Haney to win. I think he has the wits, the smarts, the ring IQ. He has a killer jab. He looks to be the taller of the two fighters. He sounds insanely confident. And it just makes you wonder about George Kambosos. Now, at the end of the day, he's a fighter. So fight or flight, when those instincts kick in, he is fighting at home. So for that reason, you have to perceive him as a danger. But this just makes me feel better in my prediction that Devin Haney going to bring them belts home back to America. He just looks to be like he trained like his butt off for real. And the other thing I was going to say is the WBC needs to do away with the franchise title, because if George Kambosos at home gets beat bad by Devin Haney, right? What does that say for this whole franchise title? So Lomachenko becomes a franchise champion, and then very soon after he loses to Teofimo Lopez, and then Teofimo Lopez, he beats Lomachenko and he says, "Oh, I'm a $5 million fighter. I'm on top of the world, made it ma." And his very first title defense, Teofimo gets thrashed by George Kambosos. And then now history possibly repeats itself. If Kambosos were to lose to Devin Haney, that's his first title defense, just like it was Teofimo's. And just like Teofimo had distractions that Kambosos is using against Devin Haney, saying he's a rat and he's an informant, it's possible that George Kambosos had distractions, living life as a champion, eating too much, drinking, or whatever, because I can't really understand or fathom why he would have missed weight unless maybe you were overindulging, And I said this from the beginning. I truly believe that Devin Haney pushed for the fight, and the fans and channels like mine are the reason the fight has happened, not because of George Kambosos. Keep in mind, George Kambosos, he was pursuing alternate routes. He wanted to fight Vasyl Lomachenko. It just so happens Lomachenko is in a completely different fight. He's in a fight where his homeland is being invaded by Russia, so that takes precedent for Lomachenko, right? And then they were also talking about Ryan Garcia, but Ryan was coming off hand injury, surgery, a long layoff, anxiety. So for obvious reasons, Ryan Garcia wasn't going to be the one to his first fight back fight a guy like Kambosos. But guess who stepped up to the plate? That black American fighter, Devin the Dream Haney. And he made weight first try. Kambosos missed his weight. We'll see how it all plays out. I believe Bob Arum even picked Devin Haney to win, We'll see if Kambosos has some tricks up his sleeve, but very disappointing from Kambosos, to be honest. Like I said, you're the hometown guy, and you spent this whole promotion thrashing Devin Haney, saying he's a rat and informant, and, you've been chosen boy, and using these words and stuff. You're just a kid, and I chose you kid, I chose you boy, and you're saying all these different things, and all the while, you didn't make weight. That don't look good to me, people. You guys let me know in the comment section what you feel about that. But to me, that doesn't look good. If you expend all this energy talking about rat and informant, and Devin Haney said you're an actor, you're playing a role, and it looks like he's accurate. You know what I mean? Because you're playing a role in this machista, Martin Scorsese type of Elliot Ness gangster untouchable character, and then you can't even make weight. So maybe you invested too much of your time and energy in the wrong things when you could have been game planning, getting that sparring in. And Kambosos was doing a lot of posting. He was posting Albert Bell sparring and making it look like he was getting maximum work. So I'm just curious what the miscalculation was, why Kambosos didn't make weight. Nonetheless, Devin Haney looks to be in tip-top shape, and he made weight. Kambosos did make weight. I told you guys, stick around to the end of this video. Kambosos came back on the second attempt and made weight, so we still have a fight, and, he needed to make weight. But at what cost? Is he depleted? Is he, going to perform like he should? Weight is definitely a touchy and sensitive subject. Let me know in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel because I am the best in the business. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego. Sign out.